the very obvious way to win in this debate, Mr. Chair, is to have a sympathy from the edge, which, Josh basically did in this debate. They told us that there should be justice to everyone, that there should be justice, more especially for taxpayers. We concede that there should always be justice, but the paradigm presented by Josh is contradictory in nature. Why? Because he generally assumes that all the employed people in Canada pay tax. Never mind the fact, Mr. Chair, that Canada acknowledged the exemption of paying tax from these low-income earners. This necessarily suggests that even if you're employed, but your income is low, as far as the characterization of income tax return in Canada is concerned, you are exempted of such tax. This necessarily suggests that even if you're employed, you're not qualified to attain this justice they're talking about, because at the end of the day, you're not a taxpayer, therefore you're a leech. This necessarily suggests, Mr. Chair, that it would be better for Canada to exile all unemployed or blue-collar employed people who do not pay tax because they are just leeches, proving that there is no social clamor for such. This necessarily suggests that people understand the situation of the unemployed. People understand their situation because first and foremost, the unemployment is not necessarily attributed to the people alone. This suggests that there are private sectors that has qualifications, Mr. Chair, members of this House, when it comes to employment. Again, we question their qualification for employment. They said that physically incapable can actually look for a job. Now we question, if this particular job is given to physically incapable, they are paid. However, they are exempted to pay tax. Does this necessarily suggest that they are leeches as well? Sit down. So let us nuance the opposition side, Mr. Chair. The government works, it seems like Josh failed to understand government responsibility at that. So let us nuance government responsibility. The government works for the general welfare of the community. The end goal of public administration is to provide social welfare policy indiscriminately, fairly, and should be executed with equity and good faith. Our stand is simple. We believe that the stratification of standards of living is not a basis to discriminately choose the people who are only be given the privilege of healthcare, Mr. Chair. I believe that the people who need government assistance, especially in healthcare and medical aspects, are the people who hardly have work, or people who hardly have reached the minimum incomes, and the people who are unemployed. Because whether we like it or not, these people are the people who will suffer when it comes to medical services if given they are not provided by such subsidies. That we believe, Mr. Chair, that the government should subsidize the health care of the citizens, provided in the current policy existing in the status quo of Canada. Yes, Al.
We believe that there must be an implementation of a fair share of incentives. If you are incapable of providing the government of the kind of money that they require for you to be rendered services, then the services will not be rendered towards you. How is that so hard to comprehend?
Mr. Chair, members of this House, the government should not discriminate policies. The government should not discriminate services. Why? Because these people are registered and citizens of this country, Mr. Chair, and it is but necessary for the government not to attribute services to people who are capable of paying tax, because at the end of the day, the end goal of public administration is social services and policy for everyone. It's not for those people who are capable of paying such. Now, government responsibility at the principal level of my argumentation. The chief end of government is to provide the general welfare for the people and services regardless of their status. The unemployed needs to assure their healthcare services, because from the start they have no resources to spend if they need medical emergencies. These are the possibilities, Mr. Chair. We do not condone unemployment. we can say that unemployment is partially attributed as a fault to those people, Mr. Chair, members of this House. But the greater attribute contributing to unemployment is the government itself, because the lack of policy regarding this particular problem. The government should impartially fill the lackings of this administration, Mr. Chair, by providing an act reassuring the health of these people until the time they have their own living resources. We do not intend, Mr. Chair, to promote, a long-lasting, forever healthcare for this unemployed, because we believe in one way or another, these people who are capable but unemployed, Mr. Chair, can eventually look for a job. We do not sponsor forever living, Mr. Chair, members of this House. And I know Canada is also the same, thinks the same, Mr. Chair. But we condemn, dependency at any sort. That's why part of the government's function is multifaceted in nature. They can provide employment, at the same time they can provide healthcare services. Now we believe, Mr. Chair, that the policy and the option executed is the government execution is multifaceted. Therefore, it is not, concentrated to a particular policy alone. The government may perhaps provide employment, at the same time subsidize the healthcare temporarily. We believe, Mr. Chair, on a pragmatic level, it also promotes stereotype in society, because the government, it's the government responsibility, Mr. Chair, to give, to provide, to clear up the stereotype in the society. Does that mean that if you're poor, you should not be given such privilege? The government's aim, pragmatically, is to provide equality among the people of Canada, Mr. Chair, members of this House. And we believe that if you focus on a particular sector for healthcare, Mr. Chair, you are creating stereotype that would create social conflict in the society, would create, the integrity loss to the people who are unemployed. And eventually, Mr. Chair, these people who have a hard time looking for jobs will not find a job at the end of the day. So what did the opposition did? What is the clash of the opposition? We believe that status quo in Canada is better, Mr. Chair, than the policy created by the government, because the government's responsibility is the end goal of public administration. Thank you.